Okay, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 2 of my Mystical Ninja starring Goemon playthrough on the original Nintendo 64. I've been having some intermittent audio issues. That is related to the equipment I am using. I did some research into it, and I realized that my microphone was probably drawing too much power from my USB ports installed on my computer. So I have purchased a powered USB hub. I do hope that solves the audio issues. I have not tested the equipment thoroughly because it takes about 30-40 minutes for those issues to become apparent with my setup. So we are going to start the stream because rather than just test equipment, I'd like to play games. And if I start to have audio issues again, then I'm going to know I've got a problem here. So we're going to get started. Now, if you missed the first episode, we left off with me clearing the first dungeon. So I have defeated the first dungeon, and I am now on my way to continue the story. I sort of feel like after the first dungeon, the game opens up considerably. If you pay attention to the way the world is designed, like where the blocks are and doors you can't go through, areas you can't pass, you realize that the game is actually fairly heavily railroaded. It's you can't really break the chain of where you're supposed to be or anything like that. But if you look at that first area that you go to, the Kai Highway that links the first town to Mount Fuji, it's a pretty small area. It's just kind of a big boxy area. And basically you run down the road, you go to Mount Fuji, and that's it. That's all that's down there. But once I pass through this door that I'm about to pass through, it's going to feel like I'm actually doing some traveling, like I'm just going to have to constantly push forward. Now, I was comparing this game a lot to Ocarina of Time when I was playing earlier, and I feel like it's an accurate comparison. The games are so similar in terms of being adventure games that focus on exploration, item collection, and problem solving. One of the things that always drove me nuts about Ocarina of Time is that the central area of the world, Hyrule Field, is essentially a big circle, and everywhere you explore branches off of that. I really can't stand that. To me, it makes the world feel small. Like I'm not going on a major journey. You know, Gerudo Mountain is just as far away as Hyrule Castle is and as the forest is. It's not... I never thought it was good world design, and it always baffled me that people talked about Ocarina of Time like it had this amazing world design. I'm not saying Ocarina of Time is a bad game by any means. It's an incredible game. But I don't like Hyrule Field. That is one of my criticisms of Ocarina of Time. And this game doesn't have that. In this game, the routes are, they're more lengthy. They branch out, and it feels like you're actually traveling and exploring. And even if the game is more railroaded than Ocarina of Time, like you can't just explore as many places independently of one another, I still really like the basic layout of the world. I don't really need that for the part that's coming up here. Okay. But see, just look at this big stretch, and you can actually see things in the distance. Now, in the late 90s with 3D games, draw distance was extremely limited, so everything was always clouded in mist and fog. But you could still see stuff in the distance, and that's pretty cool. Alright, we're getting to my next cutscene here. Now the text will turn yellow periodically, like I guess that's like a critical thing that the character's saying. But half the time when the text turns yellow, whatever the critical highlighted aspect of the dialogue is, doesn't really mean much. I mean, okay, so he's naming the items here, right? Like all the proper nouns are in yellow here.
Ooh.
Now I love this. The bad guy we've been chasing, he's just standing in the middle of the road. That's a slick burn there, Goemon. You sure got him. Yes, I would like to save. Not that I'm worried about losing. So if you haven't played this game, there's an entire giant robot mini game and robot battling. And I'd like to point out for the second time that this game seemingly takes place in feudal Japan. And apparently in feudal Japan, they had giant robots. And yes, this is a musical sequence. It's in the giant robot. Looks like my sound issues are back, so my problem has not been solved. It's not as bad as before, though. It's popping back in pretty quick. Well, we're gonna keep playing because I need to see how it's doing. All right. Okay. So when you're doing this and you're destroying all this crap, it is possible for you to get knocked over, and that hurts you. But what you're actually trying to do is destroy as much stuff as possible, because that builds up your energy and your money. And you need both of those when you get to the boss fight, because the boss fight's a giant mech battle. So you can see I got my energy bar there, and as I hit things, it's actually increasing. That's intentional. If I don't do well at this part and I don't destroy a lot of stuff, then that bar is lower, and that makes the boss fight harder. And the money is kind of inconsequential. You use it to power your ranged attack, just like Goemon does, but the ranged attack does so little damage, and you get so many coins that I've never actually been in a position where I needed the ranged attack, but I didn't have any money for the ranged attack. So I'm not too worried about that. Alright, here's the samurai robot dude. So you have two hits, left and right. Right is slower than left, but does more damage. Look at that energy bar in the middle there. That bar, I need to fill that up, because once I've maxed it out, I can use my ultimate attack. Like this. If I do it right. Here we go. So you build up the energy bar in the middle of your screen to charge up your giant laser. And then, once it's charged, you fire the giant laser. You got to be careful because the enemy kind of has to be stationary, or at least you have to know he's not going to move in order to hit him with the laser. But these mechs that you fight like this, they have a ton of health. Just an insane amount of health. Way more than you do. So you really, really want to try and get the laser off to lower their health. And as long as you can work the laser into your rotation, you're gonna be able to beat him eventually. Might take you one. Oh, see there? I messed up with shooting the laser at him. I fired it too soon and he moved out of the way. See up at the top there, the 1280, that's his health. And I kind of like how the UI works. Like, the UI is built into what you're seeing, so as you move around and look in different areas, you can't actually see all this information. I don't think a lot of modern games would do that. A lot of modern games would be like, okay, we're going to give you a heads-up display, and no matter where you're looking at the screen, you're going to see all this information, like enemy health and such. But they hadn't done that when this game came out. It's baked into the on-screen display, and you gotta... Sometimes, if I need to know how much health it still has, I gotta move my camera to see. So it's pretty cool. I like it. In the... if you play this on the original Nintendo 64, or if you just have the right kind of gimmick controller, you know, they do have mock-up N64 controllers for PC now. You have those C buttons. You have to fire that laser weapon with those C buttons, but I don't have that. I just have the analog stick. And the analog stick's a little slippery compared to physical buttons. So sometimes I goof up on firing the laser. I don't do it right, but that's alright. Now see, that's his ultimate attack, is that little phantom mirror image thing. But if my laser's full when he uses it, that's fine, because he's stationary while he's using it, so I just shoot the laser at him. And that solves that problem. You can see down here my oil, 451, that's my health. So I have more health than he does right now. He started with way more than me, but he's kind of... If you fire your ranged weapon right, these little pellets I'm shooting out, you can disrupt his attacks. You have to do it just right, though. There, like, see that? I hit him when he was shooting his missiles, and he only got 2 off instead of 4. Now he's going to do this guy again. Okay. There's my laser. That's it. He's dead. See that? 0. There is more than one of these giant boss fights in the game. There's actually quite a few of them. So usually in an area, you do your dungeon, you clear your dungeon, you'll have a story objective that'll involve a robot battle, and then you'll move on to the next dungeon. So the game's fairly consistent in its loop, but it does change things up so that you're not just constantly doing the same thing, which is good. Okay. The giant robot from feudal Japan is filming a movie. And apparently America exists in feudal Japan times. When this game came out, I think Michael Bay had, like, he was working on, like, Armageddon or something like that, like one of his first movies. So I wonder if that's who Impact is working with, is Michael Bay. Michael Bay likes giant robots. Explosions, shaky cams. It's kind of what we had going on there just now. Alright. I love this, how there's a narrator. If only this game had voice acting. Their actual name is the Peach Mountain Shoguns. They're called the Mysterious Flake Gang here. There we go. Or even a pear mountain. You know, it's like a 14-year-old watching slapstick and then kind of like trying to write their first script and just having it be in, you know, they tried. Alright, so Yae is my favorite character. Among other things, she has a sword. So you'll probably see me mostly using Yae at this point. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yae. It's probably like Yai, huh? How do you pronounce A-E in Japanese? I don't know. The interesting thing about, if you study Romaji, so if you study how they have applied Roman letters to the Japanese language, each letter or set of letters, sometimes they come in pairs, produces one sound. And if you know what the sound is, you're covered. Now, pronouncing everything correctly is one thing, of course. Actually learning the language is another thing. But that is a part that when I took Japanese in college, I actually did find that part easy, and that part made sense to me. So, doesn't mean I can do it right, but it made sense to me. Alright. So I actually have a whole bunch of different areas I can go to now. See, look at this. There's actually only one thing I can do. There's one character I have to get past, but I have all these areas I can explore now that are attached to this town. And I'm bypassing things like shops and stuff like that. I don't really need to go in any of them because I kind of know what I'm doing. But see, there's all this stuff I can explore. If you've never played the game before and you're not sure where to go, you know, it takes you time to wander through and look at all this stuff. But what we've got to do now is there's a guy blocking a bridge, and I got to be able to get past him. And in order to get past him, I'm going to go get help from this other guy that is like buddies with him or whatever. I'm skipping some of the dialogue that explains the whole relationship and backstory, but, you know, that's okay. I came into this area backwards, I think. Yeah, I'm taking the long way around. Alright. Here we go. This is where I wanted to be. Alright. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. I have to talk to the guy on the bridge in order to trigger the next link in the chain. And I think, yeah, here's Benki. He's the guy on the bridge. I have no treasure with me. You poverty-stricken good-for-nothing. Well, that's classist of you, Benki. Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's one of those deals where if you get too close to him, you trigger his dialogue. I need to get down here. And I'm going to talk to this guy and start a little mini-game. Do you know Benki? He's like a fall. See the little short guy? Little short fisher guy? You know, I like how it gives you the option to say yes or no to whether or not you're going to do this thing for him. But the progress is gated behind doing it. So if you say no and don't do it, you can't progress further in the game. So what's the point of asking me if I want to? Just tell me I have to. I really hate games that give you choices that are meaningless. That drives me nuts. Now, I don't mind games with dialogue options where no matter what you pick, it's going to end the same way, like you get the mission or quest or whatever. Because then at least there you can say, okay, well, since I've got these dialogue choices, I can kind of pick how my character talks and treats people and stuff. Like, I'm up for that. That's cool. You know, like in Mass Effect, you can either be a nice guy or you can be a huge asshole. You still have to do all the same stuff. Like, if you walk around being an asshole to all the shopkeepers on the Citadel, Shepard doesn't all of a sudden not have to fight the main aliens. But, you know, you can control what your character's like. And I'm okay with that. I am okay with decisions that control how my character is. But I hate decisions where it's either, yes, I'll do that, no, I won't. And if I pick no, I can't progress. Like, why is that an option? That you're just wasting my time. Games in the 80s and 90s were, like, really bad about this. In fact, for me, for a long time, it was kind of like a huge trope that you'd get dialogue choices, but the dialogue choices would all be meaningless. And I think the first game I played that actually had dialogue that mattered was probably Baldur's Gate on the PC. And in Baldur's Gate was BioWare's first game. And, you know, you'd get into a dialogue tree and you'd have 4 or 5 options. Usually you'd be able to respond yes or no, you'd be able to ask more questions, and generally you'd be able to control the tone of your character. They even incorporated D&D's alignment system into that, and depending on how you responded to people, like, it was conceivable your alignment could shift and stuff like that. And I really liked that. I thought that was awesome. And slowly but surely, as not only the technology that we use to play games got better, but as game designers got more sophisticated, they started incorporating more choice into games. And it's definitely something that, compared to the classic games that I like to play, it's definitely something that's better now. So, I do like to play classic games, but that doesn't mean that I think classic games are the be-all, end-all. There's definitely things that modern games do that are way better than how things were back in the 90s when I was a kid. Alright. So the little short guy, he was sending me out to collect fish, so that's what I was running around doing. I've got all the fish now, and I'm going to go back to him, and then he's going to give me the weapon to beat Benki and knock him off the bridge. So here we go. Very good. I'm gonna jump up here. I like how the narrator explains the game mechanic to you. Like, isn't... That's okay. And yes, the weapon I'm going to use to defeat Benki is the Achilles heel. This is pretty easy. You wait for him to jump. Oops, I hit the wrong button. And if you wait for him to jump, then by the time he lands again, the Achilles heel will hit him. So it's pretty easy. It's not... Oh, he blocked it. I forgot he could do that. Get it just right. There we go. That is not too hard. This is 100% accurate to how the term Achilles heel came up. The game is telling the absolute truth here. There's something fishy about that story. Canned laughter. So this is Sasuke. He's the 4th playable character. He's a robot ninja. We can't actually use him yet because he's missing his batteries. What Benki pulled out was all stiff with batteries almost falling out. Now see, it says with batteries almost falling out, but you can't use him yet, and you have to find batteries in order to use him. So I'm pretty sure almost is not the word they were looking for here, unless they have a different definition of it from me. It was none other than the mechanical ninja, Sasuke. U's not usually pronounced in Japanese, so what is that, like Sasuke or something like that? I don't know. I'm just the worst weeaboo in existence, that's all I can say. Alright. Let's mosey here. And I love the music in this area. This game has a lot of just, in general, good music. I think it's kind of got like that stereotypical, traditional Japanese feel to it, I suppose. But man, I love the music in this game. And see, it's a primitive N64 game, so just the terrain is not that complicated. But man, when I was a kid, it just seemed like the coolest thing ever. Alright. So that shrine, there's actually hidden items in there that I would like to have. There's secrets all over these maps. Like, later on, I'm going to gain a swimming ability with Yai. She's actually able to turn into a mermaid. And once I have that, like, I can get in the river and I can find hidden stuff in the water. Right now, I can only like swim at the surface of the water, so I can't dive. But once I get that mermaid power and I can dive, I can find other stuff. So I can't get in here yet, it's locked. I actually have to run over to this side area to get in there. We're gonna run over here real fast. Only bad thing is this game does have a very limited form of fast travel that I have not unlocked yet. But it is one of those games where you're going to be doing a bunch of walking because you got to walk to the areas. And if you've ever played an MMO, you have an idea of what kind of a time sink just having to walk around is. Alright, so this will warp me to where I need to go next. And then this will open up that shrine I just skipped that has stuff in it. This will drop money for me. And then this will give me a silver cat, which obviously I want the silver cat. So that's my silver fortune doll. Remember, every 4 silver dolls I find, I'm going to gain... Did I push it over? I'm going to gain an extra life for every 4 I find. Alright, so then that drops a bunch of coins. I like to bank up this money, because once I get to a dungeon where I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting my butt kicked, I need some armor, then I have plenty of money to go buy the armor with. The armor in this game does not last forever. When you buy armor, it gives you hit protection, but only for so many hits. And then the more expensive armor gives you more hit protection. And you find the more expensive armor the further you go in the game. So I just like to bank up my money early on when it's easy and not waste it on the crappy armor. And then when I need that really good armor later on, I have plenty of money for it. Alright. And this area is a good example of an area that's irritating to navigate because of the crappy camera system in this game. I mean, I give the game a pass because it's old, and they hadn't really worked out what kind of creature comforts you should have in a 3D video game yet, but that's okay. And what makes it bad is it's hard to, like, look around and see not only where you're going, but why you would want to go there. Like, look at this. I need to jump over here, but if you just run up here, you're not really going to know that. And I love this. This is like a surprise pack, a gift pack. It's a free life. It's an extra life. Now, why this game has a lives system, I will never understand. It doesn't really add anything to the game. Like, if you lose all your lives, well, that's fine. I got my lucky cat. So, if you lose all your lives, you do get a game over. You do have to reload from the controller pack. And if you just lose a life, you just respawn from, like, the room you're in. But, I don't know. It's just... Since it's an adventure game, like, that free life that's there, like, that's it. I don't get another one. You can buy lives in the stores, though, so I guess that's okay. So I usually, you know, towards the end, I'll be fully stocked up, just... But unlike Goemon's Great Adventure, the 2D side-scroller, I'm never worried about losing my lives in this game. It's just so much harder to die in this game than in that one. Well... Huh. I skipped something. I mean, that's okay that I skipped it, but, because this is actually going to take me to the next area I have to complete. I've got a boss coming up. But, that's a tea house. So these tea houses that well, they're called coffee shops. I would imagine, like, I don't know this for sure, but I would be shocked to discover that these are actually coffee houses in the original. I'm sure that they're tea houses in the original, and they just translated it to coffee because they thought it would make more sense for an American audience. I don't know. But anyway, oh, I didn't know that was there. The coffee houses, or the tea houses, whatever kind of houses they are, those are actually fast travel points, and you want to, when you come across them, you want to step into them. And after I beat the next boss here, I'm actually going to unlock fast travel. And I wonder if there's anything good up here. No. I'm actually going to unlock fast travel, so you see that silver doll down there? I got to go get that thing. Every, tea house that I step into is going to make it that much easier to navigate around the world. And you do have to do some backtracking. There's stuff you can't get to until later on when you have more items, things like that. Good news is most of it is... I don't have a good feeling. Oh, no, it's fine. I thought I was going to, like, just die there, but nope. I believe if you swim out far enough, you do. Look at how steep that is, and I don't slide down. I can just walk up it. Oh, if I crawl with her, she like clips through the ground. Thanks, Konami. Yeah, the lack of gravity effects and no fall damage, and man, it's just... There's stuff in this game you'd never see in a newer 3D game that was considered, you know, well-made and well put together. But that's okay. Alright, here's my boss up here. See, again, that's another thing where I can say yes or no. I mean, I guess at least you can say, okay, well, the reason that you can say no to that is if you're not ready to progress, then you're not locked into progression. That's fine. Then the travel agency uses dragons. This is their air travel in the Goemon universe. It's a friggin' dragon. Oh, man. Alright, so I gotta get up. Oops. I gotta get up to the front of it. That's where the the control mechanism is. And crap comes at me to try and knock me off, which that's annoying. The dragon's constantly moving, which is annoying. It is a little slippery. So, I mean, earlier, you know, I'm able to just stand on the side of a cliff, and it's fine, no big deal. But now, all of a sudden, things are slippery. Right. Almost there. This guy tests his microphone the same way I do when I'm getting ready to start one of my streams. The villain's name is Colin. They give him a break and say that it was supposed to be Colin. Geez, I can't... Oh, yeah. I gotta let it like, overheats. And... Oh, shit! I shouldn't have done that. Now I gotta start over again. It kind of, like... There's some visual distortions and stuff that were not an issue when I played this on my N64, so it's definitely an emulator thing. The N64 emulation is just a nightmare. The good old Nintendo, leave it up to them to... anything possible that they could come up with, because they're so concerned about losing sales to illegal distribution, and it just makes, you know, revisiting their games years later a nightmare. I know this isn't a first-party Nintendo game, but Konami had to deal with the N64 to get this thing working. And, you know, I love Nintendo. Like, they make great games, they make great hardware. I am sure that the hardware and software guys, the teams that are actually responsible for the things we love about Nintendo, there has got to be just a huge disconnect between them and the corporate executives that make all the decisions that gamers hate. If you put your heart and soul into building a great game that you want people to that you want people to enjoy, like, are you really then subsequently gonna spend the rest of your existence policing it as much as possible? I don't know. I don't... Good old Nintendo. I might actually have trouble doing this. Because she's like, when she starts blinking and glitching out and then sliding off. And I think what's happening is the sprite is disappearing, or polygons, whatever, the character model. Is that the technical term? The character model? The character model is disappearing in such a way that I can't see myself moving. So I can't get out of that fall. And she should only be blinking, so she should still be fully visible. She shouldn't completely disappear like she has been. Alright. If I die here, that's okay. But I am going to go to town, and I'm going to buy armor. So that I don't have to worry about... Yeah, see, I can take one hit, and then I'm dead. And there's actually an item you can buy, so that when you run out of health, you will automatically refill, not all of your health, but most of it. Especially for me, since I am so low on health. Man. Just gotta stay away from it. Get my swing in. Pull back. You want to give yourself enough space to react to the pellets, but then when you do that, you're so far away from the machine that... There we go. I got him. Only able to take one hit. I got him. But you're so far away from the machine that by the time you run back up to the machine, he started spinning again, and then you can't damage him. It's annoying. I hate bosses where like there's like a floor issue, like I'm slipping and sliding and stuff like that. Fighting more against the terrain than the actual boss. I hate that stuff. It's okay. We did it. And spoilers, it turns out that the giant blue dragon is some punk kid. Oh well. On the bright side, he's going to give me a whistle, and I'll be able to use him for fast travel now. This plot point that he's talking about kidnapping children, you won't actually even know that plot point unless you talk to the townspeople. There's a lot of plot points that are actually just gated behind random dialogue conversations with the characters. I'm not talking to some of these people, but that's where you find some of this stuff out. So what this is, this clue about the Dogo Hot Springs, that is actually where the second dungeon is. So that's why I'm going to have to head out there. Very funny, Ebisamaro. Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right. Because she's like almost dead. Where am I? Am I at the town? Oh, Foki. Okay. I'm actually going to use the shops because I am almost dead. These will just heal you. There's like an inn around here somewhere, I think. That's the fortune teller. The fortune teller, which I'm not going to go in there, although if you haven't played this game, you absolutely need to go there. The fortune teller will give you a hint about where to go next, which is good because sometimes the game is pretty cryptic. And unless you're a psychopath like me that will spend 30 years of his life playing the same video game, you probably are not going to have this thing memorized when you come play it. Alright, so here's my armor shop. So metal armor, that will provide me with physical defense. So If an enemy hits me, then the armor takes the hit and I don't lose life. And the helmet will... So ranged attacks like those bullets, the helmet blocks those. So you want to have both. There's my armor. And the third item I could carry in that item slot, item box down there, is regeneration dumplings. Normally those are sold in the general store, so it's probably not good that they weren't. Okay, that's a... That won't actually do anything because I already have my dragon. Alright, I think these are my last two shops. This is what I was looking for. This is the hotel. So we're going to spend the night. Depending on how much you spend, depends on how much health you regenerate. The bronze room does like nothing. Usually you want to be like silver or gold. I probably only need silver, but what the hey. And the animations are different depending on which room you pick. If you pick the cheap room, it's kind of funny. You should yeah, see, look at this. She's got all that stuff. While she's sleeping, she has two ladies fanning her. What a job that would be, to sit there and fan the sleeping person all night long. You can also use the inn to save. Alright. Okay. So, I don't have enough money for these, but let me show you. Surprise pack. There's my extra lives. So if I need to buy more lives, I can. The rice balls. If you buy the rice balls, you can only have one at a time. They're going to go into your item box in the bottom right. When you run out of health, the rice balls will automatically be consumed and they will heal you. I don't know the strength of each one. Like, obviously, the plum heals more than the plain. But that will keep you alive. So it's kind of like the fairies from Legend of Zelda. So if you get the body armor, the helmet, and the rice balls, you're going to be able to take a ton of hits, even if your life bar is really small. Oh, 10 points. Oh, thank you for telling me, sir. Have a good day. I have no money left. I'm poor. As Banky would say, I'm poverty-stricken. Alright. So, I've done all my shopping. I've healed my health. I've saved. Let's get a move on here. Look at this. I have to jump up the stairs because she won't walk up the stairs herself. Imagine if in Skyrim, when you were going up the 1,000 steps or whatever to High Hrothgar, imagine if for every one of those steps you had to jump up it. What a pain in the butt that would be. Especially like when the ice troll comes out and just tries to eat you. But the ice troll, if it was operating on the same logic that this game uses, would then get stuck on a lower step. Alright, only come in here because it'll activate the fast travel. So, here's another example of, even though I really like this game, here's a perfect example of something that I'm happy was left in the past, and that's having to jump upstairs because the game is not smart enough for your character to step up the stairs. You know, I really wonder what they were thinking when they made this. Like, okay, we're going to craft this staircase, but it won't be possible. Just, alright. Oh, this is going to suck. You have to put money in this thing, and I don't have any money because I spent it all. I can't remember if I need to go through something here for progression or not, so I'm gonna have to talk. I think I need money, and I think that's how I have to progress. I think there's something I need here. Well, that's okay. There's a little trick we can use. What's this? It's Compara, not Campari. That's nice. Alcohol joke. 5. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get some money just to... So I can travel to towns, I can travel to dungeons, and I can travel to coffee shops. We're gonna go to the first dungeon. And I don't believe this is skippable. This didn't seem so bad when I was a kid, but it's kind of tedious now. Alright, so I'm going to go inside the first dungeon. Now, oops. When I come in here, you see these pots? Hit them, get some money. Every time I come in and out of this room, these pots regenerate. So if I need a quick few bucks, I just stop by here and tank up. Alright, that ought to be... I don't need a ton. That ought to be enough for what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm maxed out on items. I don't have my rice balls, but that's okay. Now we're going to jump back to the Campari's coffee shop, because that's halfway. Campira? Campira. Campira? It's supposed to sound like Campari, so... This is so ridiculously slow. I never noticed this when I was a kid, but that's okay. Alright. So now I gotta get back up here. And I'm digging the music. That music's rad. I love how you can smash the boulders with your sword, and they explode, and there's no debris. And they drop money. Wouldn't it be nice if you could break a rock and find money in it? Oh, I just took a... But see, I had my body armor on, so it just hit my armor. Alright. So, we're gonna switch to Goemon. And... Oh, he's gonna upgrade it, I think. I believe this is where he upgrades it. Yep. You need to use the torch part of it for puzzles later on. So see, watch this. There we go. That is what I needed here. Alright. I don't want to use that dragon. It's too slow. We're gonna go down this thing old-fashioned way. And look, she still doesn't walk down the steps. It's just you're dropping to a lower tier. Now, it's a lot faster, which is good. But, I mean, this is just absurd. And I can jump, and that's faster than walking down the steps. And again, there's no fall damage, so it doesn't matter. I mean, this fucking game. All right. Now things are going to get interesting. I don't remember exactly where to go now. I believe in Folky Poke Village there is an exit I have not used yet. and that will get me to where I need to go. So I'm gonna do that. I can get an area map. You can see I popped it up, which will show me like all the exits. There's not... The world map just shows those big waypoints. Okay, so let's go here. But this is all I have to work with. I think I came in from down there before. So I want to go this way. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is where I want to be. Okay. And I love the background music in this game. Like, you get to an area and you see a road before you and there's just this jamming music playing. And it just makes you want to check out that area and see what's in it. It's so cool. Okay. I hope it is good. This is one of those areas where you have to, you can't run. If you do, the bridge breaks. You hear it creaking. If I try to run, the bridge will just break. Now, on a Nintendo 64 controller, this can be annoying because the analog stick wasn't very precise. And if you still have one, and you're trying to play it on appropriate hardware, what you're going to find is that thing has got some really annoying drift. But the good news is I'm playing on an emulator with a 8-bit do that is not that old, so I don't have that problem. If that thing's not gonna come here, then. So I think you can get across this thing faster than I'm taking it, but if I remember right, this stupid flying pot has there. See how it broke when I jumped, but I had timed it right, so I was able to clear the rest of it. If I would have landed on the weak part of the bridge, then it would have collapsed and I would have fallen down in the water. And that would have been very annoying. The enemies are starting to take more than one hit to kill. You can find weapon upgrades. And once you start finding weapon upgrades, some of these enemies that take more than one hit to kill will start dying in one hit again. And to be honest, I don't remember where the weapon upgrades are, so I think you get them automatically. There's a coffee house around here somewhere, right there. I can't actually get into the final dungeon yet, or into the second dungeon yet. I'm gonna have to do some backtracking, but I want to get this waypoint at the coffee house. That way, when I do the backtracking, I can just warp right back here once I'm done. Okay, so I got the coffee house. I can't remember if I have to talk to someone or if they figure it out on their own. Okay, it is closed tight. So I have to get my first spell, which will shrink me, and then I can go in there. And I know where to go to get it, but what I can't remember is if I have to trigger it by talking to someone. So we're going to talk to the people in the coffee house. And if I don't get a hint as to where to go next, I'm just going to go there and see if I've done what I need to do. Like the old man shakes his stick at you. Okay, here. He's talking about the hole. That's nasty. He hasn't taken a bath yet. Okay. A dwarf in Zazin Town. So this should trigger. I don't know if you have to talk to that lady to trigger the next sequence, but I'm not worried about it now. So we're going to get back to Zazin Town. We actually have to talk to Ishikawa, or whatever his name was, the fisher guy that already helped us once. Alright, so... I'll warp to Zazan. I gotta get... I think I have no choice. I have to go through here. I gotta get over to the river and go back to that little area he was hiding at. I think this will get me where I want to go. No. I need to come here. That's where I'm gonna go to get my my shrinking spell, but I'm not ready for it yet. I don't need to be here. Okay, here we go. I didn't come this way last time, did I? I jumped, what did I jump down from the bridge where Benki was? I don't remember. So look at Ishikawa over here. He's nice and tiny. Oh, Ushiwaka, excuse me, not Ishikawa. Guess I'm just being a slight bit dyslexic there. Alright, so there's my clue as to where to go. We're gonna run over here. I'm gonna switch to Ebisumaru. If you have to trigger a quest for a specific character, and that character is not the leader of your party, then you will not trigger that quest. So, if you know who to be, that's great. You just switch to them. But if you don't know who to be, then the dialogue will give you a hint. Look at this guy. He's just... Alright, here we go. Yeah, he asked the narrator to explain what's going to happen next. Alright. I have failed this before. It's not hard, but, you know, it's possible to fail it. So we're going to see what happens. But it's not bad for a mini game. When it shakes, the guy's going to open the drawer up and peek at you, and you don't want him to catch you when he's peeking at you. So you have to hide behind stuff. But as long as you hide behind the salt shakers, you're okay. And the time in between him peeking at you can vary. So, like, I don't really know how much time I have. It's RNG. But because of the poor camera angle, you kind of have to run back and forth. Because you're looking for those sweets that I'm picking up, but you can't always see them, and they don't last forever once they spawn. Oh crap! There. Oh man, that was close. And you can see I only have 2 lives left. I can only take a couple hits from these enemies, so it's you know, it's certainly possible if you're off your game. Oh, here he comes. I only need 2 more though, and I still have 30 seconds, so it should be fine. Grab that. I just need 1 more. Now, why doesn't he have a problem with the monsters in his stupid cupboard? Oh, we got it. I have no comment on that little dance. Alright, so now Ebisumaru can shrink. That's going to let me get into that hole, and it'll let me get into the second dungeon. And that's where we're going to go next, is the second dungeon. Oops, this one. Io's coffee shop. That's right next to the second dungeon. See, I hadn't have walked into that coffee shop, I would have had to backtrack even further. So the nice thing about unlocking the fast travel points is when you do have to backtrack, it's not going to throw you off your game too badly. Once you start to unlock the spells for everyone, and each character has their own spell, you have to use them to solve puzzles and things. Sometimes there's no point in changing back and forth between characters, because you just have to keep using the same character over and over again to get through, like, puzzles. Like, see, it's... One thing that I guess I'm disappointed about in this game is, since it's not that long, when you get to the end, some of the puzzles are really good. Like, they're really clever, and you have to combine all your abilities in some pretty interesting ways to get through the final areas. But that doesn't last very long, because you really only have it in the final areas. Like, I did the first dungeon already, and there's no puzzles there. And the second dungeon, all it really has is using the shrinking power. So it's kind of disappointing in that regard. I wish they had made a game that kind of built off of this and had you taken all of the things that you did in the first game and having to know more. Like, if you play the Mega Man X games, in my opinion, the Super Nintendo Mega Man X games, X1, X2, and X3, the difficulty curve in those games is perfect. X1's a pretty easy game. Even a real novice is going to be able to get somewhere in it. X2 is a little more challenging. It's going to test you, and you're going to need to really know some things from X1 to get anywhere in it. And then X3 is just extremely difficult. It's very challenging. So I love the difficulty curve in those games. And I really wish that a game like this... Oh, God, I think I could use the hammer. Oh, I have to turn the power on. I'm not ready to do this yet. But then you play a game like this, and there's not really a difficulty curve. Like, most of the game is just easy. And then, yeah, maybe the final dungeon is the most interesting part. And that's disappointing. Like, I wish there was more to it than that. But... And when I was a kid, I couldn't stand Ebisumaru. I was like, that's not funny. And now I'm just like, oh, he's kind of a goofball. I don't mind controlling him now. I was kind of a punk when I was a kid. I only ever wanted to control whoever I thought the cool character was. Like the ninja with the sword, she was the cool character. So that's who I wanted to be in this game. Like in Final Fantasy VII, I only ever wanted to have Vincent in my party because he was cool. And now I'm like, oh hey, I'm gonna use Kate Sith. Kate C? Kate She? I don't know. I'm an American. What can I say? I guess I should Google that so I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about. But I do not know what I'm talking about. The cat guy in Final Fantasy VII. I thought he was stupid when I was a kid, and now that I'm an adult, he's like my favorite character in that game. See, when you have the armor like I do, you end up getting lazy because you can just take those hits and they do nothing. Although I only have one hit left on my armor now, so it's not... Well, that's okay. I can always go back to a town. And I think I have to kill everything here, and then there's stuff there. I think. Oh, there's a lock there, so I'm sure a key spawns up there. That is not where the key spawned. Okay. I might need the camera for that. The camera reveals hidden items. The camera was inside that crane game. Somewhere in here, I don't remember where, there's a power supply that I have to turn back on. And then once I do that, I can play the crane game. Okay. Are these shogi pieces? I only know that because of Persona 5. In Persona 5, I like the shogi girl that you can date, because if you do her social link or her confidant, then it lets you switch characters in battle. And it's the only reason I ever do her is because I like to be able to switch characters in battle. But I didn't know anything about shogi before I started playing that game. Like, I knew of the game. Like, I knew there was a game called shogi, but I didn't know anything about it or what it was like or anything like that. And then I started playing that game, Persona 5, and hanging out with the shogi girl, and I still really don't know that much about shogi, but I know more than I did. Okay. Collect some money. Elevator down. And see, look at that. You can see there's stuff down there, but I can't get to the stuff because I don't have the mermaid spell for Yai yet. You don't get that until later in the game. But once you do get it, you can go back to like all of the places in the game where you found water, and there's so many hidden items. Like, you can spend a ton of time looking for hidden items once you have those mermaid powers. Actually, when I was a kid, I did that a lot. I explored every nook and cranny of this game. I still didn't find every single fortune doll, so obviously I didn't explore all the nooks and crannies, but that's okay. Okay, so here's my switch. That turns the power onto the crane game. I got a key. I want to get the silver doll. Alright, now we're going to get the camera. And I'm pretty sure that I want to use the camera in that one area I was at. But, okay, let's get up here. I don't think I got it. I think I was too far over. There's a little bit of a shadow, which you could see. Yeah, I was too far over. There was a little bit of a shadow, which you could see, but I didn't have it lined up right. I think if I do the first switch first, I can aim it better. I have gotten stuck on this part before. Yeah, that was too far up. Yeah, you see that? I have gotten stuck on this part before, and it's taken me some time to get the camera, so we may be here for a little bit. But that's, you know, it is what it is. Alright. We're just gonna keep on trying until we get it. Keep on trying. Oh, almost. I had to count the time and just do it that way, huh? Alright. It moves pretty quick, too. You don't have a lot of reaction time from where you have it where you want to when you want to jump off. Like, you kind of have to anticipate it being where you want it to be. Oh, that was... I think it's too far up. Yeah. Now I had it perfect on the first way, but then when I was moving up, I was too far up. So I gotta try again. Nope, that was my bad. I screwed up on my button presses. I hit the wrong button. Okay, let's one more time. Too far over. Right on one. Oh, I got it. I got it. So, you see, it gives you a little bit of generosity there. You can get kind of close. And it does not drop out of the hook. Once you have it hooked, that's it. You're going to get it. So it's not... It doesn't punish you like that. But how funny that they could only make the crane game work like that, right? Like jumping on the tiles and stuff. They probably couldn't have made it work any other way. All right. So now we got to keep going though. Oh, I can shortcut to the other side. Okay, this is where I want to be. This is going to have... there should be an item right here. No. Really? There's got to be something up there. I find that oh. I think it's just a money drop. Yeah, see, it drops a bunch of money, items, health, stuff like that. Well, that's okay. I got the silver key. So we can keep going here. I feel kind of stupid now, but okay. That's going to get us over here. Just kind of swim around this guy. Okay. Now we can keep going. Now... guess I better stay as Ebisamaru for a hot minute at least. My armor is gone now. I can't... Once I start taking hits now, I am gonna... See this purple water here? That's actually poisonous water. There's a couple spots where, like, there's actually stuff hidden under the poisonous water. And you have to get in there and take damage the whole time, but if you do it, then you can find, like, hidden stuff. Alright, there's my key. We're gonna grab that. Yep, thank you. Ooh. Fortunately, the poison water doesn't damage you right away if you get out of it fast enough. I do want to get my heals. There we go. I don't have rice balls and I'm out of armor, so if I die, I die. So obviously I want to have as much health as possible. And I'm pretty sure I'm getting close to the end here. I actually don't remember a whole lot after the part I just passed. So let's see. There's a billiards puzzle in this dungeon that I haven't found yet. I remember that. And I used to like, oh man. When I was a kid, you see the purple water down there, that's all poisonous. There's my key. So I gotta be very careful. And it can be very tricky to time these jumps, just because I have no control over my camera. The controls are not as tight as I would like. Oh, and the tops spin. So if I'm jumping against the spin, it slows me down. And if I fall in, I have to swim back to the beginning through the poisoned water. There we go, I got it. In order to continue. So let's get back on the top. Well, screw it. Screw it. See, I took half a point of damage. And then oh. Alright. Whatever, I have the key. So, let's go. I have what I came for. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Yep. Okay. I just love the imagery in this game. Like, what are these, like candy bar wrappers or whatever? I don't know. It's, okay. Ghosts. And there's almost never dead-end rooms in these dungeons. Pretty much, if it's a room, you have to go in there. So when you go into a room, when in doubt, kill everything in the room. And you will almost always get your progression that way. So, I don't think there is a useless room in this game. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I want the Silver Fortune Doll. Remember, every 4 I find, I gain a new max health. And, yep. Yep. See, that can get real problematic real fast. Now, the one bit of control I have over the camera is if I hold still, the camera will eventually swing back behind my character. So that is one thing you can do to reset the camera if you need to. Okay, jump ropes. I do have to go down there, but I can't remember what's up here. Money pots. Health pots. That's fine. I'll take that too. Health and money I will take. I remember when I was a kid, like, I actually really liked this dungeon. And even after I'd cleared it, like, I wandered back in here just to explore it. I mean, that is kind of helpful because, like, you come back when you have swim, and you can explore under the water. But, like, I used to just come in here and just hang out just because I liked it. I wish, like, when I think about how I enjoyed games as a kid, I wish that I could, like, reclaim that. Because I can think of so many games where, like, I would just goof around in the game. Like, I'd load the game up. Like, Final Fantasy is a good example. And I would just, like, wander around in the towns and, like, just goof around and, like, make up my own stories and stuff. And I wish I could still do that. I just, as an adult, I'm like, okay, let's let's get to the point and move on. Whereas when I was a kid, I could just, like play for an hour, wander around Narsh in Final Fantasy VI, and be like, oh, that's cool, that's fun. Alright, there's something else in here, right? I guess not. Nope, I guess not. Okay. Well, let's get a move on. I gotta go back to the back to the gold door. So I do like there's different colored keys, and so sometimes I'm just gonna fuck it. I might hate myself for this once I get to the boss, but fuck it. But since there's different colored keys for different colored locks, sometimes the puzzles kind of break up. I mean, it still gates you to the same direction, but it's kind of nice having that, you know, you kind of got to look at it and say, okay, I can't do this door yet, I have to go do this door first. Yeah, I'm actually lower on health than is advisable. So it would be nice if I would find another room filled with meat buckets. I don't think I will, but it would be nice. Okay. Can't get in there yet, right? I need a key. So we gotta go the other way here. And let's see what's over here. Oh, here's the billiards puzzle. I always liked this puzzle as a kid. I have played billiards before. It's not like something that I have ever played at any level to actually be good at it. But I've always liked the concept of billiards. Like, I wish I was a if I was a little more competitive, you know. I feel like this is something I would really get into. But yeah, like bar sports, like billiards and darts, I find really cool. Now, I have played darts. Of course, darts is really simple. You just need a board and enough space to throw from. And darts is more a game of consistency than like, not that there's not skill in darts. I don't mean that, but I think even a novice can have success at darts. It's an easy game to start, and I would even say it's an easy game to be able to have a level of competitiveness. It's just a difficult game to master. Yeah, I am in for darts. But I just love to have like a bar room in my house, you know, get a wet bar in there and get a billiards table, get some dartboards, get a poker table. I'd be up for that life. I suck at all that stuff, Except drinking alcohol, I'm pretty good at that, but it'd be cool to have it. Oops, I meant to do that. Alright. There we go. It's because I'm using an analog stick for my C buttons. It's easier to end up with like flicking it accidentally and flicking in the wrong direction. I never would have accidentally cast Mini if I was playing with an actual N64 controller. That's okay. That's fine. It is what it is. Alright, this should be the boss. Using the wind-up camera. Glad I read that, because I would have totally forgotten. I think you basically have to fight this boss with Ebisamaro. Ebisamar? I don't know. U's are usually silent in Japanese. Oh yeah, I remember this guy. The surrender robot. Does that mean he surrenders, or does it mean I'm supposed to surrender? Right, you make his heart visible. And then you hammer his heart. It doesn't last forever, right? So, ooh, crap. That's okay, I can charge the camera. Oh, he fades again. I thought you had to keep using it, but maybe not. I'm gonna switch to Yay. Or Yai. Like, practice my Japanese pronunciation while I'm playing this game. Oops. Yeah, we're cooking now. He's not too bad. He's harder than the giant head in the first dungeon, but he's still But yeah, I mean, am I supposed to surrender this guy, or does he surrender to me? Because I'm definitely not feeling like surrender right now. Near the edge of the screen there. Now, wouldn't it be nice if the helmet protected from the explosions? I mean, that's a ranged attack. What's the problem? There we go. He's dead. Yeah, nice and easy. This game does not have the most challenging bosses. Ah, look, it's colon. Sorry I shit all over your plan, colon. I love the over-the-top laughing. Like, if you ever watch Japanese TV shows or stuff, especially things that are geared towards kids, like, if you ever watch Super Sentai, like, not Power Rangers, but original Super Sentai, the Japanese version of Power Rangers. It's just, I love the over-the-top ridiculous villains. They crack me up. This guy just rolling in and cackling like a maniac just makes my day. Especially since his entire plan is he wants to create a stage that he can sing on. That's it. He just wants an audience he can sing for. And they made him, like, look all impressive and stuff. Like, he has these angel wings or whatever. Like, he's some sort of, like, major badass. And not really. He's just an opera floozy, as they would say in Final Fantasy VI. Spring breeze dancing. That's the name of the big boss. Jeez. Alright, that made me laugh. Do you think that Spring Breeze Dancin' decided to name this red person Colon? Yuck, yuck, yuck. The villain calls people by different names. The height of comedy. Truly. Do you wish to save the game? Yes, indeed. Okay, that is the end of the second dungeon. And I believe that is where I am going to call the stream for tonight. So we'll call that the official end of the second episode of my Mystical Ninja playthrough. I did start this particular broadcast because I wanted to test out some of that equipment I was talking about needing to buy. And my mic only cut out once in an hour and a half of playing. So I'm hoping that that means I can say that my mic problems are solved. I may be back later tonight. I do plan to stream some Worlds Collide, either tonight or tomorrow. I really didn't want to stream a Worlds Collide seed until I'd solved my mic issues. But now that that situation appears resolved, I think I'm good to go. I am on vacation this week, so there is a good chance that I will also continue my Mystical Ninja playthrough. It would be fun to beat it. I've had a lot of fun playing through the first two dungeons. Have not gotten this far in this game in a very long time. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into it. But anyway, thank you so much if you stopped by, if you caught the stream. I appreciate you watching. If you're watching this on VOD, I appreciate you watching my VOD. I do put my VODs up on YouTube. The last few VODs I've put up there are you're gonna have to deal with some technical issues, some technical snafus. But I think I've got all that resolved. So if you'd like to see me play more games, please check out my YouTube channel. And the links are in my About screen. Thank you very much. Have a great day.